of them. So they're either going to say yes or no to that. So if they say yes, you're going to then say, if I sent you a quick 5-minute video, would you watch it? So anytime someone says yes, you have to use a third-party tool. Don't answer all the questions yourself. You need to make it look like it's something they could do. So the more things that you can give from somewhere else, the better. So I always say, say something like, if you would watch that video, if you will watch a video, and then I send the one that Jill just made. And it used to be the one from Sarah, or you can send, Home Office has one as well. You just find one that works for you, but I like Jill. So I send that. Then I would follow up. So after I've asked them the question about being a rep and they've watched the video, I would follow up in a couple of days and say, did you watch the video? Hopefully they have. And if they haven't, I would say, okay, when do you think you could watch it by? Can you watch it by tomorrow night? Because I'll follow up and see if you have any more questions. So I try and get a time when they will have watched it for sure. And then if they have watched it, I say, what did you like about it? Because they usually will say something, oh, I just love that you can get a discount on the clothes, or I love that you don't have to carry inventory, or whatever their reason is. You can say, why is that important to you? Because it leads to the conversation of what they like about it, so that when it comes time to possibly closing, you can bring that up again. Since you love getting the discount, when you're closing.
Laurel, hold on, you muted. So I'm asking you to unmute.
I haven't touched my computer.
Okay, now you're good.
Okay, so what did you hear last?
You were muted for about 10 seconds, not long.
That's weird. Okay, so what did you like best about the video? And get those ideas from them. Okay. If they say they didn't have a best part, or if they say something negative about the video, you just can say, curious, there has to be a reason why you did agree to watch it. What were you hoping to see? Because you just want to keep finding out their reason for saying no. Because sometimes you can convince, you don't want to push, you don't want to feel like you're convincing, but you're just offering solutions to the problem of, whatever they say. I just don't think I have the time, or I don't think I have the money, or something like that. You can always use then the feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. I felt that way, or a girl on my team felt the same way. But what she found was, with only being able to work at 15 minutes at a time, 10 hours a week, she was able to build a bit of a business. Or if it was because of the money, you could say, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. The kit was a lot more expensive when I was joining. And I found that within, 6 weeks of doing parties and whatnot, I paid off my kit and I haven't looked back. So it's a feel, felt, found when you're going with the rejections. So that's that. So you're going to ask hostess 3 times. You're going to follow up with your customers after they've had it for a couple of months, a month or a couple months, you're going to follow up. If in that meantime that they have had their product, they either place another order, or they come to you and want to place an order, before you even do that, you need to ask them right there, you know what, you're loving it. Have you thought about doing what I do? That's all you're doing. You're offering the opportunity to change their lives, right? And the more stories you can collect about nurses that changed their life and were able to retire and stay home with their little ones, or you need to collect stories from all different occupations, because you're going to get a nurse, you're going to get a teacher, you're going to get a bookkeeper, you're going to get, and if you can have a story of someone on our team that you can talk about and what they've done, it just makes it more real for them. I hope that helps a little bit. I wanted to also talk about how I get some sort of leads and whatnot from attraction marketing, but I want to say that I'm not relying on that. I'm putting it out there, but I'm not relying, because that's not the income producing. The income producing is asking and following up. Okay, but what I do, and I just wanted to touch base on it, if someone likes anything I post or any video I've done, if they like or they comment, I always reach out and I just say, thanks for the love on my post. I'm just curious. Did you want more information, or were you just being supportive? A lot of times they actually want more information, but they didn't ask. And if you don't just say something like that, you're not going to know. So just be aware to do that, but do not rely on attraction marketing. You actually have to do the work yourself. What else did I want to say? I have to say I'm absolutely dying because it's hot in this room. We need air conditioning in here. So now you're going to follow up. Now, how do you follow up? You've got someone that has said yes to watching the video, but they haven't quite joined yet, or they may have said no, not right now, I'm not ready, or they may have just said no, not into MLMs, whatever their reason, it's just not right now. So how do you follow up? What I do is in a month or 2 months, you don't want to hound them too much. I don't want to be pushy, but I want to find a way to keep being in their message. And the way I did that is I would, depending on the person, I might ask them, so you're sort of interested, do you just want me to keep you updated on when we get new kits? Because if they say yes to that, that's really easy. You just have to let them know when they get new kits. And sometimes that's all people need. So be sure to ask that. So after every month or every couple months, I need to find a way to get into their inbox. So I do things like, hey, Jill, you know what? I'm so excited because I just earned a trip. Or I'm so excited because someone on my team just ranked up and they earned a bonus. I'm so excited that. So I start with that. And then I say, I know you might not be ready yet, but do you know someone who might be interested in making some extra money doing what I do? Because it takes the pressure off of them. They don't feel like you're asking them. And if my team members are on here, I'm sure they'll say, yes, she did that to us. I would keep it over and over. And my one that was anti-MLM, I had to keep sneaking it in there somehow. Oh, it's really exciting. I've earned a trip or whatever. And finding a way to get back in there. And sometimes it's, oh, I just realized I forgot to invite you to my VIP, or some way, and just keep in touch any way that you can every couple of months. At first I was doing it every month, but you can do a month or every 2 months, but get in their inbox and follow up. All right, so I'm going to just review what I've said. You're asking your hostess 3 times. You ask your customers after they've had the product a couple of months, how they like it and do they want to make money with it. You'll ask your customers when they're asking you to place an order for them, again, if they're repeat customers. You're going to follow up with people who have commented on your posts about, some of the things you do. You are going to follow up with anyone who you've just come right out and said the opportunity to. So I don't know what else I can tell you, because there really is no magic formula. You just have to think you're offering them the chance to change their life. And if you collect those stories of people who have changed their life and you can offer that, that's going to make it more real and more feeling to them. I don't know if that's everything I wanted to say, but I think it is. I just, yeah. I hope
Would you be comfortable if I opened it up for a Q&A?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, let's do it. If you guys have questions, unmute yourself and we will see if we've got a good answer.
There, I can see. Okay. Any questions? I can't see everybody actually, so.
And I'm kind of scanning the chat to see if there was
any. Okay.
Laurel, I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I on mute? So my question is, how many reach outs do you do like in a day on average?
Good question. When I first decided to smarten up and not be afraid of the no's, my goal was 10 a day.
Okay.
And I didn't always hit it, but I figured if I aimed for 10, I usually for sure got 5. But I wanted 10, and I do keep track. I keep a tally sheet. I keep track of how many reach outs and follow-ups and all that I've done, because come Saturday, I go kind of Sunday to Saturday, but come like Friday, Saturday, if I haven't reached my goal, I'm like working it because I want to do that. So 10 a day is what I wanted. I always aimed for 3x4 by 2,500. That was just something. So I often got the 3 reps and 2,500 many times in the past couple of years. And it's just because every week, if I didn't reach those goals of reach outs and follow-ups, I did it because I had a goal, right? And as it neared the end of the month, I really worked hard if I didn't have my 3 reps.
Okay,
Does
great.
that help?
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was just curious. I would just want to know. That's
Well,
wonderful.
and now that I'm not teaching, maybe my goal will be more per day. That was around teaching. So maybe I'll put it up now because I have more time.
Oh, and one more.
Yeah.
Random question. Do you do like cold reach outs at all, or are these like more your warm markets?
Okay, so I did both at the beginning, partly because I was scared to reach out to people I knew. It was easier for me to go to people I didn't know.
Like
than
me.
people-
I was like that too.
Yeah, yeah. So do you still do them?
To people that I know, or the cold reach outs?
The cold reach outs?
Not as much,
Yeah.
but I just try to do like the connecting kind of piece aspect and be more authentic about it. But it's a long process. I used to flat out do the cold reach outs. It
Yeah.
did work to me in the past, but I don't think not anymore.
Yeah, that's how I did. I did do it at the beginning because it was just easier for me to ask people who I didn't know. About the Google sheet there, I have like, I don't know, I'm probably up at around 800 names on there. And the more you engage on social media, and I'm talking Facebook because that's where I do most of mine. So the more I engage on social media, I comment on people's posts, I comment on their stories. I can see that my story views are going up, and I will see people in my stories that I didn't even know were on my friends list that they've seen it. I rate them on that list right away. And I don't actually, as soon as they see my story, I don't go, oh, hey, you just saw my story. Guess what? I don't do that. I put them on my list and I contact them in a few days. So it looks like it's just kind of random, but then I'll just reach out to them if I haven't talked to them for a while. And then just depending on who they are, ask them a certain question about the products or whatever. But do take note of your stories and do write down the names of people, because if you don't write them down, you will forget, because I just know you will, because I always did. I can't keep track of everybody. So you need a really good system for following up.
Okay, you're getting a lot of questions in the chat about your tracking system. Is that something you'd be comfortable sharing, or can you explain it to us?
So what I probably will do, I can explain it a little bit, but I could probably do a video and share it as well.
Okay, that'd be
The
great.
reason I do Google Sheets is because I want to be able to do it from my phone or from my computer or whatever. So that's why I use Google Sheets. It's an Excel sheet, and I've got I've got columns of their names. And like, even for instance, I have, if they're from Australia, I have a lot of Australia friends. I have Australia written beside a bunch of them. And so when I go in to pull it up, I can click on the column of it says Australia, or it says follow up, or it says VIP, or it says ask to host, depending on what I need to follow up on. If I want to find out who's in Australia, I click on that column and I just say my search word is Australia, and it's only Australia people that come up, so I can go through it. So I do the same thing for the date. So every day I have that list of people. I pull up, like tomorrow I'm going to pull up August 11th. And I will go through everybody that I have written down for August 11th. And in that column beside their name, it either says VIP, invite them to VIP, or it'll say customer 2, meaning I have to follow up with them on my second script for reach out or follow up for customer, or hosting a party, whatever it is. And so I just go down that list. And as I do that, it is a bit more time consuming probably, but I feel that that's time well spent. So after I've messaged them, I will then change the date either to September 11th if I need to follow up in a month, or it might be something I need to follow up in 2 weeks. I might put 2 weeks away, engage on their post so that I remind myself that I need to go engage with them. I hope that helps. I will share a video. It's very easy to use. I've got it set up, check boxes and all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be that advanced. It can just be the name, why they said no, and a date. It doesn't have to be much, but I will share a video if you want that. I can't see the chat here, so, oh, there it is. Any more?
So Julia had a question. How do you explain the value of the kit to someone who may be interested in joining, however, thinks it's too expensive?
So sometimes I've come at it like I just say, how much do you spend on activewear for your family in a year? Because we've got clothing for men, women, and children, right? So sometimes I try and bring it around that way. Like if you spend more than $300 or $400, whatever value you want to use in a year, you might as well buy from yourself, kind of thing. So I kind of bring it that way. Or if they think it's too expensive, well, we can host a party, do a party for you, and you can get kit credit, right? Things like that. So I always just try and find a solution for them. But I do try and make them think, hey, you're probably spending that on activewear already. Why not buy from yourself? But if they're really, really stuck for money, I really try and convince them to host a party.
I just have a quick question kind of related to you, Laurel. If you, I might have missed it but how long have you been a rep for, and kind of when did you start this momentum going of, I'm going to start recruiting today?
Okay, so I joined when it launched in Canada. I think I joined like 3 weeks later. So almost right from the beginning in Canada. So 2.5 years. At first, I was just dabbling because I was afraid of no, and I had been in direct sales before and everything. I'm not a salesperson. I'm an introvert. It wasn't in my nature to do reach outs, nothing. I just thought I'll get discount on my leggings and I'll share with a few friends, and that's it. And that's all I had intended. And then, like I say, my first 3 reps just approached me and I was like, oh, this is easy. I can build a business. So then after probably, I think maybe 8 to 10 months, like I think I sort of dabbled, and then I decided I need to get out of teaching and maybe this will do it. That's when I said, the only way I'm going to do it is I got to get out of my comfort zone. I need to ask people. I need to do whatever I need to do to make this successful. And it usually meant being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and asking. But I turned it around to I was offering to people in my mind. That's why I told myself I'm offering, I'm not asking, because I felt if I'm asking, I'm trying to get them to do me a favor. And does that answer your question? Yeah.
Will you talk a little bit about how I know we have a lot of girls that are still working full time. Will you talk a little bit about how you fit that in your schedule while you were working full time still?
Okay, so although I'm an early bird, I could chat with Jill 3 hours ahead of me, and I get up at usually 4:30 or 5. I wanted to make sure I had time in the morning to do a bunch of stuff before I went to work. So I just did it in the morning. I did it on my recess. 15 minutes, you can do a lot. So when I'm I'm a teacher, I was a teacher, standing at the photocopier, waiting in line for my turn or waiting for my stuff to come out, I would message, 2 people, 3 people, whatever I could do. Anytime I had a chance, I did some work at the school. And then I just did it at night too. I'm not a TV watcher, so I didn't have to sacrifice giving up TV because I just naturally didn't. I just worked in the morning and at night, and I was intentional. I had to do it. I wanted to build the business. So I worked it as much as I could. And I found 15 minutes here and there when I was at work or in line at Starbucks or something. I always did whatever I could at any time that I could. Jill likes the early work time. Yeah, I'm up very early.
Okay, I saw someone that said, I have a question. Let's see. Amber Palmer, did you ask your question? I don't think Amber did.
Yeah, just, I'm sort of
Okay,
comments here.
I've got a host that she's actually gone to the warehouse. She went to the Zaya headquarters today and she did a video and she's so excited and she's like the most amazing hostess. I would say she's a hostess of the year award. And but she says it's too expensive. How do I how do I overcome that? Because she's so good. She's like a dry Zaya person, basically. She just hasn't been baptized yet.
So the kit is too expensive and she's a really good customer.
She's only done 2 orders and she has posted them all over her wall in her Zaya group. She's a hostess right now. She's not at 200 yet. I don't know what
Okay.
her friends are thinking right now, but she's going to get to 200.
Well, you know what? It might not be her time right now,
Okay.
right? So she loves it. I bet that if you just sort of keep in touch with her, she will join.
Okay.
I had a girl who didn't join last year and she had I think she was at third level party last year and didn't join. And she had another party again this year and then joined. So sometimes it's not their time, right? One of my team
Okay.
members for sure is another one. Claire, I think she's on here. She was another one. She had a great party, bought lots off of me, and it took her a long time before she decided. So it just may not be her time, but no, it doesn't mean never.
Okay.
You just got to
Okay, thank
gently
you.
keep planting those seeds.
Okay. Thank you.
Am I right, Brittany? Is that what you would do too?
Yes.
Hi, Laurel. I have a quick question.
Yeah. Hello, Helen.
Hi. I was just wondering if there was any other new avenues, whether it's social media or something that you find that your cold market is easily accessible. Like, do you find that, like, I know I follow you on Instagram, so I see some of your reels. Do you find that that is helping you, or do you find that it's Facebook stories, or like, how do you find your cold market? You said you're more comfortable maybe with cold market, but how do you find that? How do you grow
Okay.
that?
Okay, so I'm not working as much with cold market as I was, but like I said, anyone who likes any of my posts or reels or any of my TikTok videos, although TikTok's different because you can only message if you're friends, but anyone, I always say, thanks for the love on my post. Were you just being supportive or did you want some more information? Because that opens some conversations with people. And so then that
Okay.
build a relationship with them. Some of them I just come right out. If I can see that they're active and whatnot, I sometimes come right out and ask right away, not as much as I used to, but it doesn't hurt to sometimes come out right away. I'm in running groups, I'm in hiking groups, I'm in walking groups, and I try and engage in there. And sometimes I ask a question like, you know, I can't even remember what my last one was. It might have been about it was Garmin or Apple Watch. And so I had all these comments. So then a lot of the people I just friended and said, thanks for your response. And some of them I got conversations going, and then I could eventually lead into asking about the products. So sometimes I just ask questions in groups, or sometimes when people are commenting in the group, I can see they're asking about a good sports bra. So I go in and I message them right away. They don't always see it, but sometimes they do. I've had a few people, oh, sure, I'll check out your website.
Have you
So-
ever commented on other companies' feeds? Do you get that on your Instagram or anything? Or is that, like you see like the Gym Sharks or whatever, and there's tons of, I'll go in just to see sort of the comments, and there'll be something like, oh, I wish you guys were in plus sizes, or I wish you guys sold size 18 or something. And I'm like, but I feel like I'm,
Oh,
like, do you ever do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I
I'm
wouldn't
stepping on toes.
comment. I wouldn't comment. I would go right to them and message them.
Okay.
You know, I saw your comment on the Gymshark post about whatever, and I noticed you were asking about plus sizes. I'm just reaching out since you asked that. I sell activewear and we go up to size 20. Would you be open to checking out my website? No worries. I just thought I'd ask.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
totally do that.
Cool. Thank you.
I do. That's another way to find people when I want to add to my list too, is like I might go on Gymshark or Lolay in Canada or Lululemon. I look on there and I look at who's liked their posts, and then I just like pull up and I see all those names and I just pick a few to follow and message. And in 15 minutes, you can do a lot of that.
I used to cold message like, oh, I've sent thousands of cold messages. That's how I started my business, because we just didn't know there was like another way. So just so you know, if you are sending messages, they'll think you're a bot at like 17-ish.
Oh,
And
see, I stick to 9. I always go 9 and that's my cutoff. So it's good to know 17.
Yeah. So 17, anywhere between 13 and 17, once they start watching you, it gets lower and lower. So I mean, I was actually locked out of Instagram at one point for 21 days, which sucked, but they still let me do stories. So I could story, I just couldn't post. So if that is an approach you're going to take with the messages, and usually I'll like copy and paste like a vague one. And then I would add in like other stuff that was applicable to them, you know, just asking if they'd heard about Zaya. But if you do it too fast, then it will flag you. Just wanted to throw that tidbit in there.
Yep, totally. And I like, doesn't matter what kind of messaging on parties. Parties are the way to find more people, by the way. Like that's the easiest way. You've got to book parties and you're meeting at least, you know, 10 to 15 people per party. So that is number one that you should be doing. But I always, I friend everybody in the party and I message everybody, but I always do 9 at a time. That's my number. I always feel safe. And then I go do something else, whether it's saving images or go make a tea or something. And then I come back. So that's a good point, Brittany.
Well, and I'll say my conversion of yeses from cold messaging versus parties, oh, night and day. Like,
oh yeah,
are the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I always tell my team, because I know that some of them don't have a very good VIP or very big. If you're new, you don't have a big VIP group. So, and you may not have a lot of parties. So then you have to find other ways to get people. So that's where you might cold message, or you definitely have to go off your friends list and whatnot. But try and get the parties. That should be number one.
All right. Any other questions? Last call for them.
Any comments? No. I noticed someone commented on Teamsy there. I did try a little bit. It wasn't for me. I like my Google Sheets, but if you like Teamsy, then maybe go that way to do it.
And I think someone said they had a free trial. So if you wanted to try it, free trial for 30 days. Yeah. So that might be helpful for some people.
You just have to find a way that works. Google Sheets is free and it works for me, and that's what I do.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for everything that you offered us. I think that my biggest takeaway that I have circled and huge is offering, not asking, like the offer that we have. And I think if we can come from a place of offering versus like, what can you do for me? It feels different for both parties. And I think that like I know when I shift my mindset to that space, I feel like my conversions of yeses are significantly more. So I'm so glad. That's such a simple thing that we just really forget a lot about. It's not about us. We have something that's really awesome for other people. So, okay. Thank you so much for offering all your wisdom and teaching us your ways. Most of this was recorded. Clearly you guys heard not all of it was recorded. I think we lost the first 7 minutes. I apologize. That's totally on me. And then Laurel, if you can get that video showing us your sheets, it looks like a bunch of people would love to see that. So we'll just link it with the call in Zaya Papaya.
Okay, when do you need that by?
Whenever. This will be up probably, it won't come into our cloud till tomorrow. So yeah, whenever.
Okay, I'll make one tomorrow morning, hopefully.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.